I'm Terri Savelle. I'm glad you're watching today. I want to talk to you about one little word that changed my life. You know, a lot of times the Lord will just give me one word and I'll study that word and apply it to my life. And not too long ago, the word was firm. He told me it's time to get firm. I was like, well, that could mean a lot of things. Well, then I looked up the word firm, and this is what it means. It means to be resolute, determined, fixed, not soft or yielding, securely fixed in place. In other words, it does not change. Well, I think of firm also meaning conquering procrastination, doing more than what's required. It's the opposite of being lazy. When you say you're going to get firm, that's the opposite of lazy. In fact, I heard a lazy person say, I'm not lazy, I'm just highly motivated to do nothing. Well, I believe God's telling me to tell you this word too. It's time to get firm. Now, some of you may have heard on other podcasts I shared how years ago the Lord said to me in my prayer time, He just said, when I know you're ready, get ready. When I know you're ready, get ready. In other words, God wants you to prepare to get things in order. Start preparing for the next level, preparing for promotion. And you know, He might be telling you it's time to get firm, to get resolute, to get determined about some aspect of your life because it's going to prepare you for promotion. You remember the phrase that Coach John Wooden said, when opportunity comes, it's too late to prepare. You have to prepare now. In fact, Will Rogers said, even if you're on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there. We got to get moving. We got to start preparing things now. Well, some of the areas, you know, that the Lord talked to me about and then I've shared with other people was just in the area of finances. You know, maybe that's the area that you really need to get firm about this year. In fact, you know, I was reading statistics that says the average American has more than $7,000 in credit card debt. More than $7,000. 50% of Americans did not save one penny last year. Not one penny. That means all that money that you're making all year long is going right back out the door. So not even one penny was saved. 40% of Americans will spend 110% of their income this year. That's crazy. 65% of Americans literally live paycheck to paycheck. So when you think about this, you know, do you feel like you should have saved more money by now? I know I do. Or do you feel like, you know, you should be a lot further along in your financial goals than you are right now in your life? Or think of it this way. If you couldn't receive a paycheck for 3 months, could you survive? Or for 2 weeks? Or could you make it till Friday? Well, I believe it's time to get firm, to get serious about your finances. If that's what the Lord's dealing with you about, it's time to get firm. I know a lady who, she said she finally got serious at 56 years old. She said enough is enough. She said, I'm getting older. I have nothing in savings. I don't want to be dependent on my family as I get older and older. So she got serious and she saved over $100,000 by the time she was 62 years old. That's amazing. Why? Because she got firm about it. Well, same with fitness. You know, maybe you feel like you should be in better shape by now, or maybe you are tired of struggling with the same 10 pounds or 20 pounds year after year, or you go on these crazy diets, you practically starve yourself, and then the next week you eat everything in sight. And you're saying, okay, something's got to change. I got to get firm about getting in shape. In fact, I heard a lady, she's a pastor in Denver, and she said, I have struggled with my weight since I had my babies. I said, how old are your babies? She said, they're in their 20s. The babies are in their 20s. She said, I finally got firm about exercising. She said, I've heard you say so many times, stop looking at the 1 hour you don't have. Look at the 20 minutes you do have and do something with those 20 minutes. So she said, I just started walking outside in my neighborhood 20 minutes a day. She said, I have lost, 26 pounds and kept it off. She said, even my trainer, she started meeting with a trainer. The trainer said, I thought you'd quit by now. She said, I got determined. Well, maybe God's dealing with you about getting firm in the area of fitness, like really get firm. Or maybe it's freedom. You know, maybe you've struggled with a relationship, wrong soul ties with someone, and you keep saying, I'm going to break up, I'm going to get free from that person, and you wind up in bed with them again. Or you just seem to keep going back to that wrong soul tie that you have because, you know, they have such a hold on you. And you keep saying, no, I'm going to get free from this. In fact, I have a friend who was in an abusive relationship. And she said she kept trying to break free. Finally, she determined, I am worth more than this. She finally broke off the relationship, and her life has literally gone to a whole new level. Well, maybe God's dealing with you about getting firm in the area of freedom from wrong relationships, substance abuse, alcohol, whatever it is. It's time to get firm. Or it could be your future. It's time to, maybe you've said for years, I'm going to go back to school and get my degree. Or you say you're miserable at this job, but you're afraid to leave, so you just stay miserable for another year. Well, maybe God's telling you, it's time to go back to school. Make a decision. Be resolute about this. Like the lady I heard who, 57 years old, she started listening to our podcast, getting serious about her future. She said, I drove a school bus for 31 years. There's nothing wrong with that. But she said, I just realized God has something else for me. She went back to school, got her real estate license. She said, I'm 57 years old and I'm going to start selling homes. And she's lost 30 pounds. I love that. Well, one of the bits of advice that I want to give you today is to become diligent in learning in the area you need to get firm. In other words, if it's weight loss, study books on weight loss. Watch podcasts on weight loss. If it's financial freedom, absorb all the information you can about your finances. If it's marketing, if it's learning a foreign language, if it's starting your own business, absorb all the information you can in the area that you need to get firm. It's like T.D. Jakes said, I ought to be able to look in your surroundings and know your dream. He said, are the books you're reading taking you closer to your dream? Are the seminars you're attending taking you closer to your dream? He said, is where you're spending your money taking you closer to the fulfillment of a dream? He said, show me your checking account and I'll show you your priorities. In fact, Jim Rohn used to say, when people would say, I want to be successful, he said, the first thing we do is say, okay, let me go to your house and check your library. He said, because what a man reads pours massive ingredients into his mental factory. And he said, the fabric of your life is built on those ingredients. Well, start building a personal library. Start educating yourself in that area where you want to be firm. Because the more you learn in that area, the more determined you get. So I want to challenge you, study to show yourself approved. Absorb all the information you can. And I'm telling you, once you get firm, you're going to get results. If you're enjoying the podcast, please subscribe to this channel. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter so I can keep you motivated to achieve your dreams. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next week.